Howdy, and welcome to the Takeout, the movie edition of the lunch table. What? And this week is a special and holly week because it's our Christmas special.
Kinda.
We'll get into it.
It might as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to get in the mood for the season. It's been I think this movie was appropriate through because it's been Christmases have been a little weird ever since people started coughing a little bit more.
Can we not say that anymore?
No, I think we could. I was just trying to skip it for the holidays.
Yeah.
I
got hit with it real bad last year. So.
Oh, and dude, even financially now people are having a lot of trouble. So
that's because people can't stop spending money on shit that they don't need.
Well, Amazon is addictive.
Did you hear Amazon got fined like $3 billion for running a train on the economy?
Good. I told you. Any listeners listen to the newsroom, num-nums, you will hear the disdain I have for that owner.
I don't know.
I
did not
the
right thing.
Oh no, probably not. It's more than that. I would torture. Anyways, let's get back to our movie here. Couple ADHD kids.
Squirrel.
So, this week I got the pick. And going through...
Kinda. There was a weird series that led us to this.
It was. But, like I was saying, I really feel like this movie fits the feel of this Christmas. I do. I'll give it that. And
haggard feel.
Oh, it's just crazy. We ended up reviewing a 2014 15 Krampus. Which,
yeah, I remember seeing commercials for this thing. They showed it quite a lot, like commercials and shit for it.
Yeah, I remember like seeing little bits here and there, but I really wasn't sure what it was, and I looked up what Krampus was, and then I was like, oh, that seems like a cheesy movie. I don't know if I want to spend all that money at the theater, because before theaters got shut down, which, I mean, now some of them are back open.
Yeah, I actually went to the movies the other day.
Yeah.
Saw Eternals. That was awesome.
I still need to see Carnage, and I want to go see the new Spider-Man movie that's going to come out too.
Let's go see it together. You take the camera, I'll be there as well.
Yes. And when you hear heavy breathing, you mind your own business, people. Or don't you mind why we cut holes in our popcorn? It's for each other.
I actually heard about Krampus long before this movie came out. Not, I guess, maybe like 4 or 5 years before that. When I was in college, one of my very first years, I had a German professor, because I was taking German classes. You needed a language to push through. But he was from Germany, had the accent, everything like that. Very old dude. First day he comes into class and he goes, listen, I'm going to level with y'all. I've retired 7 times from this position. And each and every time they bring me back, I say yes, because this is my beer money. But he was always he didn't just teach you the German, he taught you the German history of it as well.
Yeah, which is pretty important.
Yeah, he taught you, like, if you go to visit Germany, you're going to be better off that you took him instead of the next person down the line.
Dude, it's very serious. If you ever travel, read laws before you travel. There are some really crazy laws that will end you up in a foreign jail. And then you got to rely on the American embassy to finally get their ass up and do something about it. You're going to be there a couple months. But other than that, let's dive in. We'll break it down. We'll give you the review of it first, break it down, then we'll go ahead and talk about some scenes and things that we really want to go over in depth. Drew, you got the back of the cover ready, buddy?
Absolutely. We decided that we were going to do one of the different back of the boxes because there is one that has 4 paragraphs on the back of the DVD cover, and we're like, there's not
Yeah.
this much to that movie.
No, there's not much to the movie. It's pretty simple.
But let me get into this. When his dysfunctional family clashes over the holidays, young Max is disillusioned and turns his back on Christmas. Little does he know the lack of festive spirit has unleashed the wrath of Krampus, a demonic force of ancient evil intent on punishing non-believers. All hell breaks loose as beloved family icons take on a monstrous life of their own, laying siege to the fractured family's home and forcing them to fight for each other if they hope to survive. Featuring an ensemble cast that includes Adam Scott, Toni Collette, Allison Tolman, and David Kocher, this is a wonderfully dark and subversive must-see film.
Yeah, they actually did a really good job without giving it away. I'll give it that.
To be fair, and I notice this from all horror movies, maybe it's just because I don't like them, predictable as shit.
Oh, super. I think they all follow a super easy premise, and now it's kind of hard to surprise people.
Yeah, I did notice that premise from like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
That's what brought it to light for me.
Yeah. So, you know what? Let's get into it. So our movie here, it starts out in a slow motion scene, right, where you see a bunch of people. It almost looks like they're panicking as they're running, and you don't know quite what's going on, but they're all dressed up in Christmas gear. There's Christmas music going on, and then as the slow motion goes, you see that it's basically like a Black Friday Christmas shopping, right? And it's right from the get-go lets you know they're going to be quirky. They're going to be quirky, make fun of themselves, and funny.
We forgot to set our timer.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm sorry, Drew. Go ahead, set a timer. We're trying to do this a little bit quicker. Boom. Go. So, as we're in the opening scene, like I said, they already set off the opening like they're going to be quirky. As they go through the slow motion, everyone's fighting over gifts. Kids are fighting with each other. The guards, the bodyguards there, are the craziest. They're tasing people. They're tackling people. All in slow motion as this jolly Christmas music is going on. All the way till finally we get to the end of the slow motion where you see a kid fighting on stage with, I assume, one of the wise men, and just beating the crap out of them. Then, screen goes black. We fade in to a home with a grandma baking cookies. Right? We really don't know she's a grandma, but in a couple seconds, people come in. Here we're introduced to our main cast. The main family, I would say. You have your dad, who's Tommy, the mom, Sarah, Max, who we find out is a kid that was whooping the other kid's ass, and Beth, the sister, who, real quickly, they label her as a spoiled bitch.
And Omi, it does say grandma.
Yeah, they Omi, I guess that is true. They don't call her grandma.
In German, grandma is Oma.
Omi. Oh, Oma. Oma.
And grandpa's Opa.
You know, here they kind of set up the dynamic, what's going to be happening. You find out that they're getting ready for their family to be coming over for Christmas dinner. You also find out that the dad is a big business guy who's pretty much away. You find out Max acts up a lot. That's kind of his trait. He's kind of a bad kid who gets into a lot of fights and incidents, probably because he just wants attention from his dad. Then Sarah's your typical rich white mom. So you hear all them talking about how they hate the other side of the family. You already hear stories about how Beth said, well, they left dog poop in my bed. You know, tricksters. They're talking with all this disdain. Finally, the other family gets there. Right? The other family, well, The way I can explain them is basically a Democrat's version of a Republican. Like, they're the most. You take Republican and you turn the craziness up 100. That is them. They are Pennsylvania rednecks to a T.
Yes, they are your quintessential Pittsburgh area person.
So Howie is their dad. I forget their mom's name because they didn't say it too often. But his wife is the sister.
Linda.
Linda is the sister of Sarah, and that's how they're related. So Howie's not related, but he has a son, Howie Jr., who's just a fat idiot. I think he has one line in the whole movie. Other than that, he's just staring with his mouth open. I think he's the kid from Bad Santa. I think it's the young kid from Bad Santa.
Different kid, but funny enough, yeah.
Then he has 2 twin daughters who are all dressed in camo and look like boys. Jordan and Stevie. And then the mom, who's just kind of, she's the black sheep of her family. You can tell she never felt as pretty as her sister and things like that. Obviously, you see as Christmas starts, they don't get along. They're completely different. And this is where some of my problems with the movie come in, because the dad of the main character there, Tommy, he's the worst dad like ever. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't make the right choices. It seems like he has 2 kids, but it seems like this is his first run with kids.
And he just lets them do whatever. So eventually we get to a big family dinner. Right at the end of this, everyone's kind of sitting down, trying to enjoy dinner. And Max gets called Maxie Pad by the twins, right? The twins like to pick on him. And here they found a letter to Santa that Max wrote. And they read it out loud at the dinner table. Well, this note basically held information saying about how he wishes that his mom and dad would fix their relationship and get better, and things would be better. He's wishing Santa would fix that. He also wished that Santa would fix the other family's problems. And
the mom would stop, or the aunt would stop worrying about shit. The dad or the uncle would stop being a dick.
Yes.
That the twins should have been boys.
Yeah, for the twins' dad not to wish they were boys. Things like that. So all this goes out in the open, and obviously, big old fight. Max flips out. He starts trying to beat up the twins to get the note back. All this craziness. Finally, they separate the kids, whatever. I think eventually there gets to be a scene with the kid and the dad and the grandma. The grandma is trying to keep Max to remember the good parts of the holiday. And she's kind of weird throughout this whole movie. And you'll understand why here in a second. And she only speaks German.
Of the movie.
Yeah,
until the very end.
Yeah, till the very end. But she only speaks German. So they have subtitles for her sometimes when they want you to know what she's saying. Other times,
the other part it's translated in movie.
So she's trying to keep his spirits up about Christmas. He's already trying to give up on Santa, yada, yada, yada. Typical Christmas shenanigans. Eventually, Tommy and Max are in the room. Tommy's trying to explain to him why you invite family over and why, you choose to spend time with family even if you have nothing in common. And basically, he says this to make you grow as a person. It looks like, Max learned a lesson. Tommy leaves. All of a sudden, Max gets really pissed and rips up his letter and throws it out the window. And as soon as he throws that bitch out the window, it goes straight up into the sky, and black clouds just come rolling, like instantly. Rolling in black clouds, lightning. Next day, they wake up. Huge blizzard. Huge whiteout. The power's out. No one has nothing. Huge whiteout. Can't see anything. Although somehow they're still delivery men.
Well, that has to play into...
It does, but good for him, I guess. He made it there. I don't know how that delivery truck made it there.
No rain, nor snow, nor sleet, nor hail will stop the U.S. mail.
Mm-hmm. So
That's
as the
DHL.
as families wake up and they start noticing this, like I said, eventually they get a ring at their doorbell. They get a package. They get two packages they were expecting, and then there's just two other really shitty, ripped up gifts to the other side. You know, they notice them. It was Howie that found them. And of course Howie makes a comment about how rich people always get free shit. Because, like I said, uh Tommy there, his family's well off. They showed his house. I thought it was a school at first. It's that big. Like eventually we get to Tommy sitting with his wife Sarah, and his daughter comes up and is worried about her boyfriend who smokes pot. So you know automatically this bitch is first to go. You know she's gonna be first to go. She's already showed with the boyfriend and doing drugs. Boom. You're asking for it in a horror movie. So she asks if she can walk to her boyfriend's house, which is a couple blocks away. And her dad just goes, in the worst storm ever? Sure. You'll be fine. Go ahead and just walk your little ass down to your boyfriend's house where you two could be alone maybe this whole entire time. If you do make it. Like, what is he thinking? What father just lets their kid out in a blizzard like that?
I'm going to have to censor that for YouTube.
Well, this is where the movie really starts kind of kicking in, right? This is where it starts developing the evil part of it. Because it follows her on her walk to her boyfriend's. As she's walking, I think the first thing she sees is a shadow running on top of roofs. Which the cinematography in this movie great. Some of the editing really shitty. Really, really shitty.
Yeah.
Dude, like, any hoozles. She notices that she starts, freaking out because there's this devil creature running on freaking rooftops. She ends up running, hides underneath that delivery truck we found because she tried to get in it. Here it's locked and the dude's dead inside. Right, as she hides underneath it, they do the thing where he walks around the vehicle, you can see his feet. They do that whole scare trope. And then he leaves a jack-in-the-box. And they do this a lot in the movie where they don't show anyone really dying or getting hurt. They zoom out, you hear the jack-in-the-box kind of go off. You see it a little bit, but nothing really too much, anything in the jack-in-the-box. Then you see the car shake and boom. Then it goes back to the house. Right, and as we're at the house, you see Grandma kind of freaking out about the fire. Right, you see Sarah freaking out about Beth. And eventually we get to the point, because a lot of it is just kind of filler here, and eventually we get to the point where they decide, like, oh, we need to go look for Sarah. It's been forever. They've heard crazy things on their roof. The grandma's acting weird, trying to say to keep the fire hot. So it's dark out. Finally, Tommy goes up to Howie, of course, the redneck who's all ready and gung-ho for situations like this, and asks him, hey, can you help me find my daughter? He's like, you let one of your sheep out? A shepherd's got to watch his flock, or something.
Yeah.
Right? And of course, he's like, you still have your Hummer? And what's the name of that? Lucille or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Lucinda.
Lucinda. And of course, there's a big yellow Hummer with lights all over it. And as they travel and kind of burrow through the neighborhood. The storm's just worse and worse. More snow everywhere. There's no one around, no lights on anywhere. Eventually, they got to what I thought was a school and wondering why they were going in. But realistically, it was her boyfriend's house.
Yep.
When they're in there, they notice the door's wide open, the chimney's cracked in half. I think earlier on their route too, they found a snowplow that they saw. The windshield was caved in, but the keys were left in the snowplow. They noticed that. Anyways, they're really feeling like something fishy's up because they can't find the daughter. And as they're getting this bad feeling, they hear Sarah scream. Because here, there's something on top of their roof now. They thought it was squirrels, but it's not. So as they hear Sarah scream, they start to rush back. And I think it's here as they rush back, isn't there something in the snow?
Yeah, there's something underneath the snow.
Something underneath the snow. You never see it, but it ends up grabbing Howie's leg. Now, before they went into the house, Howie gave Tommy a handgun. Right? They loaded up, and Howie just had a bunch of guns on him, and boom, boom. So Howie has a shotgun. He has a sick-ass revolver. I don't know really what he has, but it's a sick-ass big revolver.
It's a Magnum of some kind. Yeah.
But anyways, Tommy, well, he sacks up and he shoots that monster, saves Howie, right, with his bleeding broken leg. They get back to the Hummer. Is this where the Hummer is blown up?
Yeah.
The Hummer's
so
blown up.
Back.
Right. Hummer's blown up. Nothing left of it. So they have to woof it all the way back to the house. When they finally get there, they realize there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on. They board up the house. They decide, we'll look for the daughter later. Right now, we just got to make it through tonight. Let's board up the house.
5, 4,
keep everything good.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, did I not make it? Oh, fuck, dude. Damn. So they board up the house.
That alarm is very important, and we'll mention it here at the end.
So they board up the house, keep everything ready. This is where we really find the importance of Grandma, because the Grandma eventually shares the story of how she knows Krampus. And when she was younger, she basically made a wish during a bad time in Germany. They really don't say when, but I think we can guess. We could guess. It's a very dark time in Germany.
Everybody had lost faith.
Everyone's lost faith. She wishes for her family to go away. Well, then the demon of Christmas, what they call Santa's shadow, is what Krampus is. He basically comes to make you, I don't know, remember what Christmas is about through horror.
Yeah.
Basically what he does. And then she shows everybody this burnt sleigh bell. So, they're all kind of freaking out. They don't know if they can believe this crazy old lady about this tale of a evil Santa. They feel like they're safe, and at this point, they decide, hey, we need one person to stay up and at least watch the fire, because the fire has to stay hot so no one comes down the chimney. Howie's like, you know what, man? I'll take it. You saved my life, whatever. Here's another part that I hated, because why would you let a freshly wounded dude, who probably could use rest to heal up, stay up all night by himself?
He was saying that he would do it.
Mm-hmm. Either way, once again, Howie lets us down because he's not the great Pennsylvanian he needs to be. And he falls asleep. And the fire goes out. Well, as the fire goes out, you start hearing all these little creatures, and next thing you know, you see this chain come down the chimney, and it has a gingerbread man tied in it, like a fishing And of course, out of all the characters, who goes for it?
The fat kid.
The fat kid, Howie Jr. The kid with one line, who the only thing you know about him is he's fat, and his dad hopes he'll be a lineman one day. And of course, he bites this gingerbread man. And, I thought the hook was going to take him up and just take him. But instead, the gingerbread man gets all pissed and starts flipping out.
That's probably one of my favorite parts.
Anyways, they start. After he wraps the chain around this fat kid, they tug him up. As they go to tug him up, Howie wakes up, tries to save him. The whole family's trying to save him. Eventually, Sarah's holding on. Sarah kind of gets pulled up into the chimney, sees that it is a gingerbread man. And now she believes Grandma. Now they're all freaking out because their son's gone. Grandma starts the fire back. She's the only one smart enough to keep the fire lit. Which I don't even know how she did it. I don't see no logs or anything in that house. She just walked over and went, and the fire just started back up like she's magical. Yeah, same thing with the hot chocolate. Where did she get that water?
Oh no, she used milk.
But at this point, Howie's real pissed and he's being all redneck and he decides he's going to be a man and actually go chase his son. Opens the door. Realizes really fucking quick that's a bad idea. Bad idea. I think a couple creatures start coming at him or something. They close the door. Eventually, everyone's panicking, wondering what to do. Here's where we get, eventually, to those gifts that were brought in. Eventually, Sarah's sister there she starts messing with the gifts. But they kind of interrupt her, so she doesn't get to open it yet. But you hear there's things in there and kind of messing around. Somehow these gifts end up in the attic, I think.
Yeah.
And eventually, as they're all hanging out, the twins go up and they find these gifts. As they open them, of course, they're all horrible monsters. There's 3 gingerbread men. There's a Jack-in-the-Box that's eating a bunch of people. A huge Jack-in-the-Box. I mean, bigger than Drew. And the other one's like a floating baby doll thing.
I love that that's a unit of measurement. Drew. Yeah, there's the 3 gingerbread men that are down in the kitchen that attack the uncle, Howie.
Yep, Howie.
There is an owl, angel, weird baby doll nightmare thing. That's awesome. There is a killer teddy bear.
Yeah.
And the robot. I
forgot the killer teddy bear.
And the robot, yeah.
Now, I forgot this whole time to introduce Aunt Dorothy. She doesn't really have much to do with the plot. She's just a cunt. A very funny cunt.
Hilarious.
But a cunt. Like, that's the only thing. She's an alcoholic cunt. That is what she is.
I laughed like 7 times during this movie, and 6 of those 7 times were from her lines.
And she doesn't want to watch the kids. She makes that real clear. She's not big on watching the kids or helping out in any way. She just sits and drinks the entire movie. And I had to bring her up because as they're upstairs and, everyone hears the girl screaming, they all go up to save him. Howie stays downstairs because he's watching Grandma, or he can't climb the stairs, something like that. Can't climb the stairs with his leg or something. For some reason,
they told him to stay downstairs, but then he gets pulled off to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. So he gets pulled off to the kitchen. We'll start with him because the little gingerbread men fight was sweet. I thought that was funny. He's shooting at these gingerbread men in the kitchen with a shotgun. Takes 2 of them out. And the last one is still alive. The third one, he thought he killed it, is still alive. And right before it goes to stab him with the candy cane, the dog eats it. So like I said, the movie doesn't take itself serious. It's very campy.
Yeah.
But back to the attic. So in the attic, there's this big skirmish, and eventually Aunt Dorothy has her moment. She gets the shotgun, and she is loaded everything up. She is kicking ass with the shotgun. Oh, wait, no, that's not yet. Never mind. I'm sorry. It's actually Linda. Linda starts killing everything with the shotgun, running through trying to save her babies. Right. Kicking ass, taking names. Uh, Eventually, they save, I think it is, do they save Jordan?
Jordan.
No, they save Stevie.
Stevie, yeah.
Stevie. They save Stevie because Stevie's the one who read the letter.
Yeah, the one that was pissed at, or the one that Max was pissed at.
Because they read the letter. So finally, they get rid of that evil. Now they're all really freaking out. They don't know what's going on. At some point, I know elves get involved. They rip the house off. I forget exactly how all that happens. But the front of the house gets ripped off because of elves. This is where Aunt Dorothy starts taking out people left and right. They're throwing shit up in the air. She's just being a pro with the shotgun. Eventually, she gets taken out. And basically, these elves take out everyone except for, I think there's 4 people. The 2 mothers and Max and Stevie, I think, are the only ones left.
Stevie gets recovered.
Mm-hmm.
So Stevie, her mom, Max, her mom, and Tom.
And Tom are the only ones left. And a whistle, like a horn blows to actually call back the elves. And this is where they kind of came up with a plan as they were stuck inside to somehow get the snow plow and maybe just keep driving for help. So now that their whole freaking house is ripped open and Grandma's still there, you hear the fire finally goes out because one of the elves put it out. Then you finally hear something coming down the chimney. Even though the whole front of the house is ripped open, he has to come down the chimney.
Yeah, Grandma slams the door behind everybody so that she can take on Krampus, when realistically there's a giant hole in the wall that everybody could climb back through. But then Grandma faces Krampus.
Right. Gets taken out. Then on their way to the snowplow, they're running. Those things in the snow are back again. They start sucking up everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Then the only 2 left are Stevie and Max in the snowplow, trying to start this thing. 2 kids. It's a stick. Of course, they can't get it started. Next thing you know, they take Stevie. Boom. Then all of a sudden, Krampus shows up, has a big moment with Max, and leaves them. And he leaves them with the bell.
Krampus let the grandma survive. That was part of her story. So now this time around, he's letting Max survive because both of them were the ones that threw out the wishes.
Right. They got their wish. You know, they both didn't want their family there anymore.
Yeah.
And they got their wish. They got drugged to hell. Well, here's where you'd assume the movie, kind of end and be all kind of dark and evil. But it doesn't.
Your little innocent one that caused it all gets to go.
Yep, he finally gets the sack because he's a little feisty one. Somehow he finds Krampus and all of them celebrating going back to wherever. He throws that little burnt sleigh bell he gave him, calls him an asshole, asks for his family back. Really bad CGI hell pit hole happens. Max gets thrown in it. After a bunch of talking that really doesn't matter, gets thrown in it, wakes up in his bed.
Christmas morning, all of his family's there. It was just a nightmare.
Just a nightmare. Everything's back to normal until he unwraps one of his gifts. And it's that sleigh bell. And then everybody just stares blankly. Like they remember. Like, oh shit, that was real. And then it pans out and they're in a snow globe inside a cave. So I don't know if they're in hell or what's going on.
That is the end, but that is the biggest problem that I had with the movie. Why couldn't they just leave something to the imagination? Not have zoomed out that very last second where you're in Krampus's workshop or whatever with all the snow globes from the other people that he's taken. Why couldn't they just leave it with like an Inception ending, like where you don't know if it's real or not?
Right. I think if they would have ended it on the blank faces, it would have been the best. Like after the bell, they don't know if they're actually alive or dead or what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. They're not sure if it was just nightmare and he took it back, or if they actually are all dead. And
I mean, this movie. It is fun. It is. I'll give it that. It's not great, but
it's funny.
not terrible. Yeah, it's funny. It's campy. I could actually see a family really liking this for Christmas. I could see families actually getting together to watch this stupid Christmas movie. Drew.
Yeah.
What did you think about the editing? Because, like, dude, sometimes, first off, I didn't like the design of Krampus. That was kind of weird, just a hooded.
I actually really like that, because Krampus in historical things is like a demon, like a goat demon.
But it looked like he was wearing a mask when they zoomed in on his eyes.
Well, no. So the grandma explains that Krampus is actually the demonic. She calls it the shadow of
Santa. Yeah.
Yeah, or Saint Nicholas, or however they say it. But yeah. So he is like a demonified Santa. Still looks human. Has the the Santa hood, the big red, snowy everything.
Tattered.
I like that they did that instead of turning him into just a demon.
A goat demon.
Yeah.
A red goat devil.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't his face is what annoyed me. It's just like open, broken. It's when they zoomed in, it looked like he is a guy with the mask on. That's when it really lost me, and I was like, oh.
Well, I mean, some of the toys. Some of the toys were cool. They were creepy.
I was gonna say some of the toys were really creepy. That Jack in the Box got me. It opened
he looked like Pennywise.
And it opened up like a plant or something. Like his mouth just didn't open. His whole body opened to eat you, basically.
Yeah.
What about the acting? Because the acting to me actually was pretty good. They had some high-end actors. I don't think anyone really did horrible.
You can tell that there was a difference in pay cuts. You can tell that, like, the big names that the dad, the uncle.
Yeah.
Not even really anybody else, just the dad and the uncle. There's a lot of them in the story. They take a huge part of this story. And they do really well acting. They're good actors. They know what they're doing. And then everybody else is pretty shit.
Yeah, they're kind of subpar.
Yeah.
I mean, the aunt ain't bad. She's also a good actress, so she's been in movies and TV shows. And who is that? She's played that character a lot.
Like that weird mom, yeah.
Yeah, like that grouchy aunt. That's what she plays. She plays a grouchy aunt. She's in 2.5 Men, right?
No, I didn't think her.
She's not the maid?
No, that's Berta. That was the
She's basically Berta.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically the same character.
I thought you were talking about, like, Stevie's mom.
No. I'm talking about the aunt.
Yeah, I mean, she's there. She doesn't take a big part in the story. She is just comic relief. She's really funny. She has so many, like, one-liners that need to be brought up here. First off, really funny that we're Cleveland Browns fans, and the Twins are pissed because the Steelers lost.
I thought that was hilarious. And of course, they're assholes, just like most Steeler fans. Typical Steeler fans is what I thought throughout the whole movie.
So one of the lines that the aunt says, "Where's the nog? I need to get Mary."
As she hands her coat to the.
Another one, she says, "Who doesn't make a ham for Christmas? What are you now, a Jew?"
Jew? Yeah.
It
looks like Martha Stewart grew up in here.
Yeah, that one was a good one. As she's, like, getting eaten, "See you in hell, motherfuckers." You let him out of your sight for 1 second and boom, shotgun wedding. I don't even like kids, even when I was one. A little sugar and she like spins a candy cane, a little spice, and dubs vodka. Makes everything nice.
Yeah. She also said she was going to teach the kids how to make peppermint schnapps.
Come on, kids, I'll teach you how to make peppermint schnapps.
Which, by the way, if you notice in that movie, the kids never got in trouble for any of the bad things happened to them till they drank that alcohol with her.
Yeah.
That's why I said horror movies, I have this weird thing of like people do bad things and get punished for it.
I have two things. The first one is the Advent calendar. That one is real creepy, real nice. Lets you know that it's going into separate days.
Yeah.
And of course, they team it with really good music. I think they did that really well.
The music, the calendar. There's a lot of good decisions. I think they did the best they could with a really bad idea.
Right.
Like what they were given was not going to ever be successful. That movie, like, never mega successful. But they did a great. I honestly feel like they did a really good job with the movie. I would suggest people to watch it at least once.
The second thing that I liked is that there's a lot of like family oriented stuff, but at the same time it's like a pushback to all the family oriented stuff. Like, hey, yeah, let's go make cookies, but then this happens because of that. Or let's go find your sister, but then really not.
Right.
They really played on family well, and it kind of brings into the fact of he didn't want his family to be there. That's the whole reason the Krampus is there, and they made that known. I did like that part.
Yeah, basically the fear of him coming to take your family makes you realize, like, oh, I do like my family.
Yeah,
it's real extreme lesson to teach the kids, but one way to get it done, I guess.
CJ, speaking of like and dislike, let's play a little Rotten Tomatoes game.
Oh, Rotten Tomatoes.
What do you think is the Rotten Tomato score? And for future reference, now I'm going to always pick the audience score. It has more ratings.
Audience score? I'm going to say 42.
42. In the realm, wrong side of the hemisphere, 51% say that they liked it. So it is split down the middle.
It is
half
split,
liked it and half didn't like it.
Yeah, honestly, like, because if you know any goths out there or any people that really love Halloween but hate Christmas, this is the movie for them.
Ooh, yeah. Going to our timer, one of the things that we have decided moving on at this point, we've decided that our summaries are a little too long. And we're going to start cutting them down to get to the real meat and potatoes of the actual movie. So we're playing a little mini game inside of our episode today, and it will go on for other episodes in the future here.
Yeah.
Whoever is the person that got to pick the movie is always the one that makes the summary. That person will now have 15 minutes to do the summary with little to no interruption from the other ones. If you can complete that, you're safe. If you cannot,
like me,
like CJ did today, you will be punished.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, if you want to see what CJ is going to do to get punished, go take a look at our TikTok and possibly our Instagram. And we're going to put up a punishment video. It might hurt. I have a lot of ideas. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And Drew's ideas are always violent.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
They're always violent and hurtful.
Well, that's funny.
You're German.
Chocolada.
Oh, Drew, what was other than the ending, what was your least favorite part about this movie?
Least favorite part? The claymation history lesson with Grandma.
Yeah, that was weird. That came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that came out of nowhere. You're sitting there watching this movie, then all of a sudden you're like, "Did I switch to channel?"
What it looks like is Coraline. Have you ever seen the movie Coraline? Like Tim Burton? It looks like that right in the middle of a real life movie, and you're like, "Oh, come on!"
Right. Yeah.
Favorite part is when the twins get eaten. I'm like, yeah, they fucking deserve that.
Yeah, they're assholes.
Yeah.
They're assholes.
What are your favorite, non-favorite?
my least favorite is just I think the main character Tom. Just some of the shit that he allows to go on and makes decisions as a dad is like the most ridiculous fucking decisions I've ever seen anybody make. And then he keeps suggesting, let's keep breaking up and going outside in this blizzard. No.
You never break up in the movie.
Then why the fuck you going in a blizzard?
Up. You never split up.
Like literally, Howie comes back and says, we were out there for 10 minutes. Look, I almost got frostbite. Then everyone runs out there at one point with no coat.
Think about it in Halo terms. You never go into a place and get a kill-tacular. You never kill 10 people at once. It never happens. It rarely happens. But you can pick people off one at a time as they're coming through. That happens.
I was gonna say, the way you get kill-taculars, if it's the way you're explaining, you were the last one entering the room and everyone's one shot till they're dead.
Or you just blow everybody up with a rocket launcher.
Or that. That's, yeah.
Speaking of, new Halo's out. Also, speaking of, today's my mom's birthday today.
Yes.
Wish her a happy birthday.
Wish Drew's mom happy birthday.
Mama Lotzenizer. Mrs. L, as her kids call her.
Ooh, she was a school teacher, a wonderful school teacher. Okay, well, anything else you think the audience needs to know about this movie, Drew?
50-50. Flip a coin if you want to go see, if you want to watch it. Not on any streaming services, though.
That is weird.
You have to go buy it.
So, I mean, out of all, I think I'm right there with Rotten Tomatoes. I'm halfway on it. I'm probably never going to watch it again. But it wasn't bad to sit through. Like, it didn't kill me to sit through. Well, anyways, if you have any movie suggestions that you might want us to go over, or any punishment suggestions, or maybe even a different way you think the format would work, really anything you're thinking of, go to the Munchies page. Let us know. Start talking to us. We definitely need some interaction. Know which way you want us to go. For right now, you keep Drew and I are going to keep picking kind of campy, unheard of movies because that's kind of our humor and what we like. That's kind of, I don't know why, but we want to punish ourselves with that.
We want to be able to shit on them.
Yeah.
We want to be able to shit on movies.
Yeah, I mean, it would suck to do a movie where it's like, yeah, everything was great. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do Eternals. That was such a good movie.
I mean, even the writing in this wasn't bad. Like, everyone's lines weren't. No one was really saying stupid shit. But, Drew, you want to plug our stuff, buddy?
Yeah. Also, we had a renewal of our Patreon member. So thank you again, Nick Jones. You awesome. And don't forget, anybody that donates on Patreon, we will shout them out during the episode. Love you guys. We're on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor playlists at the Lunch Table PBJ. It's probably how you're listening to us right now, but just remember, look for the PB&J with the olive on it, because just like that, classy and a little sweet.
Yeah. Classy, sweet, salty, sticky fingers. Everything a PBJ is.
Likeable by dogs.
What doesn't like a PBJ?
Foreign
communists. That's who don't like PBJs. We're commies.
We're on YouTube at the Lunch Table PBJ. We're going to be throwing up some good stuff there. Go take a look at that. We're on Instagram and TikTok at the Lunch Table PBJ as well. CJ takes a lot of care of that stuff. Build his ego, because that's some good stuff. Remember, take a look at there to see what his punishment will be.
Yes.
We're on Twitter at Lunch Table PBJ. We throw up some polls there as well as the episodes for easy access. Go ahead and take a look at there too. We're on Facebook at the Lunch Table PBJ, as well as our fan page, The Munchies. Have some fun there. A lot of our audience is really good people, and we want you to be a good person as well.
And if you were wondering, we looked at our demographic, and we're all of similar age, so people will get your jokes.
And lastly, we're on Patreon at the Lunch Table PBJ. Much like Nick Jones, donate, $1 a month. It's not much, and it helps us, and lets us know you care.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for stopping by. Once again, this was the Takeout, the movie edition of the Lunch Table. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa. Is it Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa? I don't know. And all of them, any other holiday I'm missing, I'm sorry, I'm ignorant. But as always, we appreciate you. Thanks for stopping. It's getting a lot more fun around here. Peace.
See ya. Ho ho.
Ho ho.